All right, what's up, everybody? This is Gavin. I just finished up a Mazda MX5 Cup race at Summit Point Motorsports Park. It was 11 laps, and I put together some decent races, but I would say this by far has been my most complete one. I qualified fifth, and ended up taking the win. Spoiler alert. But I really can't describe how much fun this battle was between the guy who was in first and myself in second place. It was just a blast. So I'm just gonna do some kind of commentary, play-by-play kind of stuff over this replay, and see how this works and see how it goes on the YouTube page. So here we go. So right here, getting ready to take the green flag. And we are off. A couple of guys at the back. A little bit of trouble getting started. Not too much action at the beginning of the race. Kind of just a normal start for MX5 Cup. At this point, I made an overtake for fourth place at the beginning of this lap. I know it says position 5 towards the bottom of the screen, but it updates every time we cross the finish line. Kind of making a slightly gutsy move on the outside. He bobbled it a little bit exiting that corner, and I saw the window on the outside, and I saw him go towards that inside, so I thought I would take advantage of that outside and try and make it stick, and kind of trust that he could catch his car. And I know it doesn't look like much from this point of view, but that's just because these cars aren't super high-speed cars. So when they do sort of get out of sorts and you start to lose control, it's such a pain to catch the car. But, from a TV style point of view like this, it doesn't look like anything's going on, really, unless it's a huge issue or huge bobble. Right here, trying to take a look at the inside for second, I believe. Yes, that would be second. Don't really know what happened there. I think he went over that curbing a little too much and just tried to keep going without correcting. One thing about Summit Point, the curbing is super aggressive. If you hit that curbing, you're gonna have to take some pretty good action to relieve your car, because once you get up on that curbing, it's pretty tough to catch, pretty tough to maintain the same speed. You almost always have to lift up a bit or maybe hit the brakes. I wouldn't always recommend that, though, as that's a huge difference in the weight balance. So I would say just a little lift in the throttle would probably do you the most justice once you're coming off curbing, just so that it's not a huge weight balance issue. Most of this race was pretty tame. It wasn't really too aggressive in terms of how close first and second were until the last few laps, but I can tell you right now, I was driving my nuts off. I mean, this guy was just putting up great lap after great lap. Coming to the line here, I'm just gonna kind of give you a first-person perspective of what a lap looks like around Summit Point, and I'm not exactly sure how hard I was pushing this lap. I can say I was pushing pretty hard most of the race. So hopefully there's some good examples of how hard it is to catch these cars. And one thing about these cars is that if you use the slightest bit too much braking, you are going to go around. One thing about that corner, early on, I was giving it a pretty big lift, but later on, I just started to kind of blip the throttle and just point the nose as early as I could. Whoa, that was pretty big there. I honestly don't remember that happening, but that's just another example of how reliant this corner is on your entry. You see that entry? I was just going way too fast. Honestly, that was not skill. That was pure luck. I should have been out of the race then if I wasn't out of the race earlier. That was not skill at all. That was just... Don't do that, because that was a dumb corner entry and just pure luck catching it out of that corner. So, if anyone's trying to look at this as a way to learn Summit Point, don't do that. Don't do that. I used to do a lot more MX5 Cup racing on iRacing. I kind of strayed away from it for a little while just because like I didn't get bored of it, but just kind of was in a slump and kind of gave up on it. Not the best mindset for that, but this was my first race back in MX5 Cup in a while, and I gotta say, Summit Point is built for these cars. I mean, you can just absolutely drive the hell out of these cars, and they'll take it pretty well, and the track will take it pretty well. Starting to get close to him here, coming to the last 2 laps. Across the line, that was my fastest lap, and it also ended up being the fastest lap put down in the race, which was a 1:22.379. I believe the second fastest lap was from the 6 car, which was a 1:22.4. I don't remember. Don't do that either. Honestly, yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you what the hell that was. I should have been done there. I'm going to be totally honest. And that's why I say that I feel like I should not have won this race, because I made a lot of mistakes in the race as a whole. It just, really came down to that last lap. He ended up making a good amount of mistakes. Man, almost lost it again there. That corner right there, I feel like, was just such a huge either beneficiary or a huge making contact there. So we're coming to the white flag here. These cars can take a little bit of bumping on the ass end. So that bump, I feel like, wasn't really too much of an aggressive move, and obviously he didn't take it that way. This, though, I did make contact with him going into 1, and that was a mistake. I did not mean to do that. The last turn before turn 11, I was just trying to get him loose a little bit, see if I could kind of slide my nose in at a awkward angle for him, so that maybe I could get him to slide out a little bit, make a lot of contact there. I honestly thought it was over at this point, just because he got such a good run out of that turn, but he ended up going wide. I took the normal racing line, tried to push it too wide going through here. I honestly probably shouldn't have done that. That's a really aggressive move, making a little bit more contact there, but it was the last lap. I feel like this was all I could do, and I feel like that bobble that I just did really was the race. If that didn't happen, I probably would have been stuck behind him still, and he could have blocked my move to the outside, but since it was such a sudden move, I just went out there, and then just drove around him through that last turn, and took the checkered flag, took the win. Let's look at those last couple turns. Really, let's look at this last whole lap from the outside perspective. So we're going to start off with the last turn before the last lap, when I gave him a little bit of a tap on the ass. It was just to see if he would slide out, which he did catch it pretty well. It also wasn't a huge bump to him. Just meant to rattle his cage a little bit. Going into one, gave him a pretty big tap there. That was unintentional. I honestly thought if I got the chance to go around him, he was going to just send it into me. Because I honestly feel like that's just the way iRacing is now. I get that people, that I feel like was also a bonehead move, but again, he caught it. Thought he had the better line, went wide. I took the normal racing line. Forced it too wide, going through these curves on the back of the course. Bobbled it right there and whipped it to the outside. I feel like if I didn't do that, he would have been able to block my move to the outside. And really just kind of hoped and prayed on this turn. I knew I was gonna brake early, because I knew he usually broke pretty late. And I ended up being able to get on the throttle earlier and getting it to stick, and ended up taking the checker. I was pretty excited about this one. It was a really fun battle. So yeah, that's all for this video. Really don't know how well received this video is going to be. Just kind of testing the waters of YouTube, seeing how this play-by-play kind of video works out. Please let me know in the comments what you think. I know the video quality of my camera isn't the best, but it was a cheap camera on Amazon, so it's what I'm stuck with. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and put a comment down below. Just really what you thought of the video. But anyways, thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody for watching, and just kind of a PSA. I am in very big need of sponsors. As a lot of you know, I am trying to be able to go to Daytona in January to test in the ARCA Menard series with Rise Motorsports. Not a whole lot of sponsors necessary for that, as compared to an ARCA race, but still it requires a lot of help, because it is a national series. So if you're interested in sponsorship, go to the bio of my YouTube page, and you could find my website link there, or my Instagram. You can contact me through both of those. And if you're thinking about some long-term sponsorship, I am looking to find a good amount of sponsorship for a even bigger opportunity that I might be able to take advantage of later in 2025 in the Arkham Menard series with Rise Motorsports. It's a little bit bigger than a test. That's all I'll say for now. Kind of my teaser for what it might end up becoming. You guys can speculate what it's going to be. Some of you might already know, but I'm not really going to make any official announcements until it's official. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hope everybody's Thanksgiving was great, and hope everybody has a good countdown to Christmas. Take care. Have a good one.